Hello and welcome to episode 26 of the Fact 50 Football Podcast. Definitely not filmed at the same time as episode 25 because we're busy. This is our international break second episode since there was any Premier League football. Feels like about 100 years ago. And so we're doing a special episode for 26 where me and Farrell go through our summer transfer window. I think strategy is a bit of a strong word, but what we would do for Arsenal and for Manchester United in terms of buying and selling, we're going to negotiate prices so that we can't just make up I'm going to sign Haaland for £5 million. We're going to sell some players. We're going to buy some players. We've got £100 million budget plus whatever we get from sales to revamp the squads for next season.
Yeah, special. This is our special. Obviously, before we've done Battle of the FA, this time we are pretending we are running the transfer department at both Arsenal
We're
and
the men in
Manchester
charge.
United. Men in
God
charge. So
help
the rules that we gave each other were that we had £100 million kitty to start with, which I don't think is outrageous. I think probably we both have 100 million, spare knocking about in our clubs.
Back of the sofa.
And then you could sell some players, but they have to be sold for realistic value, and we can discuss that, whether that is realistic value. And then you have to choose some players to sign, and again, they have to be realistic figures with the money you're gonna sign them for. We're not doing wages or wage bills or going into that sort of detail. It is all about just buy and sell at this point. All clear, Mike? Does that make sense?
Got it. Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, we've got to have a realistic value when we're saying we're selling someone, and the same with whoever we're buying. Like, they've got to be likely available at the price that we're claiming. And if Farrell says, I want to buy Bukayo Saka for £50 million, I would obviously push back on that. Or it doesn't have to be an Arsenal player, but whoever, if you pick a ridiculous number for a player, then we will have some debate about the value of that player.
I will tease up front. I have got an Arsenal player in my
I reckon I know who you've got, but let's. Do you want to go? Do you want to do your United rundown first?
Yeah. What should we do? Should we do our sales first, or just go through the whole lot together?
I reckon what you should do is go. So I reckon we should do sales.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have decided this before the podcast, but I'm going to sell these players, and that gives me X amount of money to spend, and then this is where I'm going to spend it.
Okay, fine. So in full flow. Okay, great. Let's do it.
Yeah, go for it.
So on my selling, I've got quite a few sales to make here, mate.
I feel like you've got. I'm scrolling through the United squad right now. You got a lot of deadwood in that team.
We've got. I've been saying that for years. So Rashford is the first one that's being sold.
Okay.
For 25 million, which I think is a realistic figure. That's sort of what's being discussed with Barcelona.
I was going to say there's a fee. Yeah. Okay, I'll let you have that.
And then Joshua Zirkzee is also going to be sold for, and I've been conservative. I've said 20 million. Bear in mind, we bought him for 36.5 million.
Yeah. He's still quite young, isn't he? I'll let you have that. Because if he was older, I'd say his value is basically zero now.
No. 20 million is cheap in this market, man. Cheap.
Yeah.
And this one's maybe a bit higher than maybe you would like. So I'm selling Onana, the goalkeeper. And
okay.
He's also going.
How much are you paying someone to take him off your hands?
He did really well at Inter before he fucking came to us. So I'm selling him for £20 million.
Yeah, I mean,
it's doable.
Who's he on loan at now? Is he having a good season now?
Yeah, he's having a great season. He's probably worth double that.
Because if he has had a good season this season, I could see it.
But he's at the Turkish club, isn't he? How do I pronounce this? Trabzonspor? Is that the one? Is that?
Trabzonspor?
Yeah.
Is he there?
Yeah, Trabo Sporty.
Let's not embarrass ourselves anymore.
He's in
Turkey.
League. Yeah, he's in the Turkish league. He's doing excellently, probably worth 20 million easily, I would say.
Okay, I'll give you, based on his sort of former pedigree, like he's played for Inter Milan, he's played for you, he's got Champions League experience, he's coming towards like his peak years, I guess.
Yeah, I think he's got plenty.
He's not old for a goalkeeper, is he? What is he? 29. So yeah, for a keeper, he's coming towards his prime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you can have 20 million for him, but I would like that to be noted when I pick a ridiculous number for my players as well.
Well, the 20 million is not ridiculous. Haven't gone outrageous.
No, it's okay.
I'm selling another goalkeeper. So Bayern Deer is also going to go. He's going to go for 10 million.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Ugarte is going to go, and Ugarte
Cool.
is going to go for 20 million as well.
Okay.
Juventus are interested in him.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Still only 24. He's played 68 times. For you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you have 20 million.
Cool, fine. And I haven't done any research into this. You can see before we started this, listener, we were talking about how we've set this up. Mike's gone full statty man. I've just gone pure vibes, man. Just living off time. So
You're playing Football Manager.
Yeah. So I've gone for a Rasmus Højlund sale. Not checked when his contract expires, but I've gone for 20 million for Rasmus Højlund as well.
That is a good point, actually, isn't it? Because the length of contract left does have a big impact on value.
We don't need to go into too much detail. I just think if you go, it sounds about right. I think we should be fine.
What did you say? Sorry, how much are you selling them for?
I said £20 million.
Yeah, I think he's done well at Napoli, hasn't he? Which is
he has done well. That's
what could.
So I think 20 million is all right, isn't it? And he's got a contract to 2028 with us, so I think it's fine.
Yeah.
And then we've got a couple who leave on the free. So Sancho leave on the free, and Malacia will leave on the free as well. So with that, I've got a combined kitty of sales of 115 million plus my 100 million that we had to start with. So I've got 215 million pounds to spend.
Cash in the bank.
Cash money, baby. Now, I think at this point we should go through who you're selling, because I think the conversation gets complicated when we get into who we're buying, because I've got some ifs and buts. So who are you selling? And let's go through that.
Okay, so I've got my definite sales. Anyway, let's do them first. So Jesus is going. I put 3 because I thought his contract was expiring, but it's actually not. He's got another year. I reckon the trouble with him is he's got massive wages. I think he's on 250 grand a week. So I reckon we might get 5 million. Because with a player like that, when you've only got a year left, everyone knows he's leaving anyway. He's not part of the long-term plan. His value is super low, and this is where we've struggled in the past to sell players. So 5 million for Jesus, I think, is fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah.
I'm also selling, and it breaks my heart a little bit, Martinelli. I am selling for 40 million. Yeah, 40 million pounds. I reckon is a decent fee for Martinelli.
I think that is fair, because he is still very young. He's been playing at high level for a long period of time. I think 40 million is actually not too bad. I'm surprised you're selling him though.
I am. I just think he's not kicked on since he had that breakthrough season. Well, breakthrough season. His big season where he got I think he got like 15 league goals when he was 20 or 21. He's not kicked on since then. He's only got 1 league goal this season. He's good. He can definitely do a job, and if we keep him, I wouldn't be upset. But I think we can upgrade the left wing, which is why I'm selling him. It's also why I'm selling Trossard. So he's obviously a bit older. Physically, he's okay, but we are a big physical team. And the thing with Trossard is he'll go through great form, and then he'll go he's too up and down. And I want more consistency.
What's the number,
there.
man? What's the number?
20 million for Trossard.
20 million for Trossard. How old is Trossard?
31 or 30 or 31.
Someone's going to pay 20 million for Trossard, do you reckon?
Well, so the reason I said 20 million, he's 31, is because there has been, and last summer, we had a bid from Saudi Arabia. And I reckon if there's interest, he's going to Saudi.
Okay, I think that is slightly on the edge, but I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so 20. We'll say we're having 20 million for Trossard. I've written this one down, but it is already agreed. I think Kivior is on loan at Porto, and that was like a loan with an option with an obligation to buy for 15 million. I think it's about 18 million euros, so about 15 million quid.
Yeah.
That one's. I think that's already done, really. But I'm having that 15 million. Thank you very much in my pocket.
It's fine, you can have that. Yeah.
I'm also selling Fabio Vieira, who is on loan in Germany at. I think he's at Hamburg. Actually.
Is he really? I was going to say hi.
Yeah. It was going disastrously, but in the second half of this season, he's done really well, and I think he's scored or assisted in like 6 or 7 games in a row, and so his value has come up basically.
So
he's
that's
still
what
young.
you're putting his form on. Okay, yeah, fine.
Yeah, so I've gone for 15 million for Vieira. We signed him for 30, I think. There's no way he's worth that much now. So
50 million's
15.
Fine. Yeah, okay. I think that's
fine. Then I've got Reece Nelson for 5 million if we can find a buyer. And I've got Carl Hein, who's like our 3rd choice keeper, or 4th choice maybe, for 2 million. I don't know whether there's we could get
You're
a fee
clutching
for it,
at straws here, mate. Selling someone for 2 million. How much money do you need? Come on.
I just need a couple more million. Although the thing is, I haven't really decided who I'm signing yet. So I've just got a list of loads of players I want to buy. So anyway, if I get 5 million for Nelson and 2 million for Hein, that gives me 97 million in income from those sales.
So I've got 215 million to play with, and you've got 197 million to play with.
Yep, I think that's about right. I've just realised as well, one of my incomings, you're definitely not going to agree with the price that I said we're going to buy them, but we'll get to that.
Mine either. I went. I know I'm not a statty man, but I did have a quick look at like brief value of players. But obviously, you end up paying more than what the value is sometimes. So we'll see. So I'm going to tell you my positions first of all that I wanted to sign. So for me, centre midfield, obviously the big one is Casemiro's leaving, so we need a replacement for Casemiro, and I think we need someone else in there as well. Not necessarily guaranteed starter, because Mainoo's hopefully going to carry on starting. Bruno Fernandes will carry on playing as well, but Bruno Fernandes is getting old. He's not going to be at the club forever. So I think we need 2 central midfielders. And then I think we need a right back rather than a left back, even though we're being linked to a lot more left backs at the moment. So a right back and maybe a left back. And then if I've got some money at the end, another attacker, because I think we do lack some depth up there. I know we spent a lot of money last season on our attacking with Cunha and Bumo and Sesko, so we spent a lot of money already. But if I do have some spare cash, they're the positions I want to tie up if I can. So quite a lot. What about you?
So I've got obviously left wing. That's the one that I want to upgrade. And I feel like I've been saying that for about 3 years, the last 3 transfer windows with Arsenal. I want an option for centre forward because Jesus is going to go, and that would only leave us with Havertz and Gyökeres. So I want someone else who can play there, but also play somewhere else. So somebody who could play like off the left or central would be great.
Yeah.
And that's the first one. That's the big one that I've gone for. And then I also want somebody in midfield who is a bit more sort of technical to help us ping the ball around, because we've got a lot of physicality. Declan Rice, Zubimendi, Kai Havertz is big, Mikel Merino is big, like big physical players, strong, and also like move about the pitch really well.
Big. Zubimendi's a small little lad, isn't he?
He's 6 foot.
Is he?
Or I think he's like 5'11", and like he's very nearly 6 foot. He's also one of the best headers of the ball in the Premier League in terms of duels won. He wins like 86% of his aerial duels or something. Like you cannot beat him in the air. He's brilliant in the air.
Statty man's here. Statty man's back. There we go.
He's really good. Like physically, he's underrated. Technically, everyone knows how good he is because he's a Spanish midfielder, so he gets tired with that brush, obviously. But he is physically as good as well, and he's covered the most distance of any player in the Premier League this season.
Sorry, mate. You still
giving you facts, mate. I'm giving you facts. You can't argue with them.
Right. Okay.
So I want a technical midfielder, I want a left winger, and I want a centre forward.
Okay, fine. Let's get into talk about some of these transfers, Ed. So I'll talk about my centre mids first. So I've written down 3 players, and I'm probably going to sign Probably want to sign 2 of them. And I've gone very much because my knowledge only extends to the Premier League. Every single player
I knew,
mentioned here.
I knew it was just going to be Premier League fodder.
but what I will say is we did that transfer strategy apart from Sesko last year, and it worked. So signing proven Premier League players, Ferguson used to always do it. The best up and comer, we signed them.
Arteta does it as well.
Yeah, so I think it's tried and tested. Whether you want to sign Premier League players for all of these positions, I don't know. But centre mid. So my 3 players that I'm interested in signing are.
I reckon I know 2 of them.
Go on in.
Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton, and then there's going to be someone else.
It's not Elliot Anderson. So I think we are heavily linked to Elliot Anderson, and I think we're going to try hard to get him. Apparently, he's our priority, but he wouldn't be my priority.
Okay.
I think we need somebody who's got, is a bit bigger physically. So I've gone for Adam Wharton as the option. So you got one right.
Very good player.
Tonali from Newcastle.
Yeah.
And then Belieber at Brighton. I'm a Belieber, baby.
Jesus.
So I would absolutely love Tonali. Like, he would be my number 1. I just love him as a player. I think he's amazing. Do I think it's realistic? I'm not sure that it would come to us. But I think he's amazing. I think we probably need Adam Wharton more so. Because somebody who can sit there, dictate play a little bit more and give Mainu a little bit more license to roam and Bruno Fernandes license to roam. Like, he's just very good at those forward passes. So I think Wharton's my number 1, and I'd put him down at £60 million for Adam Wharton.
And what about the other 40?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, if he was available for 60 million, I reckon every big club in the league would be going for him.
He's not a £100 million player. He's not. I will argue that point.
I agree, but he's English, so he probably is. Like, no. I think if you're looking for Premier League experienced, young, so can still develop, obviously super talented, and English, like 80, 90, 100 million. You're not getting them for less than that.
It's not even starting. Elliot Anderson started for England.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just because he's a bit younger.
So. Let me go through the other ones then. So Tonali, I said 60 million as well for Tonali.
So I reckon, I'm not disagreeing with your valuations, but I reckon like Newcastle and Palace. I mean, I think you'd have more luck with Palace because they need money. Getting 60 million. I think Newcastle won't sell Tonali for less than 100. Because we've been linked with Tonali. Yeah.
But he wants to go is my biggest thing. Like, Adam Wharton's kept quiet, but Tonali's like, I want to go.
How long has he got left on his contract at Newcastle? If he's got like a year left, you might get him for 60.
Maybe. And then I think I put
I'll Google that. Down. Who's your third one?
I put Belieber down as 50 million. He's a slightly different type of player. He's a bit more of a ball-winning player. So
yeah, he is.
With Casemiro, but Casemiro gives you way more than ball-winning. And my issue with Belieber was that we were very close to signing him this year, and he massively kicked off at Brighton and basically said, I'm refusing to play, which for me was a little bit of a red flag.
Yeah.
And since then he played really badly. Like, he hasn't hit the form that he was in before. So I'm a bit worried about that. If you're going to splash 50 million on a player who's not in form, is difficult. So Tonali, how long has he got left on his contract?
2 years. It's June, summer 28. So it is like, it's the point where they're going to have to either sell or renew. And I reckon, because they're not going to get Champions League, are they? I think he will move.
Okay.
So maybe that will bring the price down a bit. But I still think 60 million is too low.
Okay, so if I went for Wharton at 80 million, that probably feels more realistic. Fine.
Yeah. I think Palace would kind of have to be forced to sell at 80 at that sort of price.
Okay, well, I'm signing Wharton at 80 million. My first transfer locked in.
Okay. 80 million. Shall I do my first one?
Yeah, you do your first one.
My first one is Julian, or is it Julian? I don't know. Alvarez from Atletico Madrid. Used to be at City. And I've gone for him at £90 million. So 100 million euros, £90 million. Which is the number that has been, I think, sort of mooted, which is a lot of money, but 26 years old, He fits the profile of can play through the middle, can play out wide, can drop into like midfield areas, which Arteta loves. Works very hard. He's very technical, which I like. So he scores goals as well. Like he's a good finisher. So he's kind of the best of Kai Havertz and the best of Victor Gyökeres in one player, because he's got the technical ability of Havertz, but he can score goals like Victor Gyökeres. And actually, you might argue he might be a better finisher.
Is he going to score you enough goals?
Yes, because like at the moment, Gyökeres is scoring us enough goals, right? We're 9 points clear in the league. But the thing that Gyökeres doesn't do is bring others into play. Like he doesn't get many assists, and he's a low touch striker, so he doesn't complete many passes. Alvarez, he has. I know you love your stats, so I'll hit you with some stats. He creates 0.5 big chances per 90. He has about 50 touches a game, so that's quite involved for a striker. Very good dribbling stats, and he's scored 46 goals in 101 games for Atletico Madrid. So, what's that? Just below 1 and 2?
Yeah, that's better than what I thought.
Which is pretty good. And also, like when he was at City, he was good there as well. They just sold him because they could get a shitload of money for him. I think they signed him for like £12 million, didn't they? Through one of their... Did he play for like Girona or someone? They bought him. They did the whole go to one of our feeder clubs and then we just buy you for like £5 million. And then they sold him for 80 million or something.
Yeah.
My only worry is the price. If it's more than like 90 odd million, that does make me a bit hesitant.
I think it's still quite a lot. It's still quite a lot. But he's played Premier League football, so that helps, doesn't it? Like he's played Premier League and he's done well.
Yeah.
So I think it helps.
Also, he's played with Arteta, because I think he was still there when Arteta was there. And the Atletico connection is Andrea Berta used to be their sporting director. So if there's a relationship there still, hopefully, maybe he can get us a bit of a bargain. Get us £5 million off, Andrea.
Okay. Right, £90 million for Julian Alvarez.
Am I allowed him for 90 million? Is that all right?
I think 90 million is a sensible amount, yeah.
Okay. That's my first one then.
Okay. So I'm going to go to my right back option next. I might come back to midfield, but I'm going to go to right back because I think Dalot is okay, but he's very inconsistent. So I've got a few options here. So I've got Livramento, who I'd love from Newcastle, just pillaging Newcastle at this point.
Yeah.
I put Livramento down as £45 million.
Ooh. Livramento.
Well, actually, look at that. I've also put down Ollie Aina. Is that how you pronounce it, from Forest?
Ollie Aina, yeah.
Yeah, I put him down for 40 million. But I think you might give him.
Well, so Transfermarkt does value Livramento at 40 million euros, which is like 35 million quid. He's got 2 years on his contract, and he might be not like Tonali. There could be a fucking fire sale at Newcastle, couldn't there?
Yeah.
So he's 23 years old. He's played loads in the Premier League. Livramento, this is. And he's got 2 years left. So it's going to be one of those, renew it or sell him, probably.
Yeah.
So maybe for about 45, 50 million, you might get him. I don't know. In my head, I was thinking like 50, 60 million probably for him. But
and he's really good, up and coming, but already, like you said, already bang on. I think.
Yeah. It's a good combo, and he's bigger than he. In my head, he's a little right back, but he's like 6 foot something, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So, and the third choice I put down there, if Spurs are relegated, I might have a punt on Pedro Porro, but I think he's slightly inconsistent, but great delivery. He's not great defensively, so very similar to Dalot. Like Dalot can great defensively. So for me, Livramento.
I was thinking about that as well. If Spurs go down, like, that's a good team going down. Who could you get for a cheap price? And I looked through their squad. I was like, I wouldn't have any of them. I don't think there's any of those players I'd be like, go and get him. He's really good. Like, they're shite. Yeah. They're so bad. Anyway.
So, Livramento, can I have him for 45 now?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah. Deal. I'll sell him.
Deal. Okay, done. Okay, so a little update there. So that 45 million spent on Livramento brings me up to having £90 million left in the bank.
Okay. You've still got a lot to spend then. What? How
Yeah,
many
but
other positions have you got to recruit?
well, I want another centre mid, maybe a left back, and maybe a striker.
Ooh, okay. Good luck with £90 million.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd be
Got some
shopping in the
squads.
bargain bucket. Yeah. I love those transfers that happen though, like the little. So last summer for us, Mosquera, £12 million from
That's
Valencia because Valencia were like financially crippled and they had to sell him and he wanted to
Yeah.
leave. And like he's easily 40-50 million pounds worth of player. He's now in the Spain national team. He's had a great season for us. I love those like sneaky little transfers where you can still very rarely find like a £10 million player, can't you? Yeah. Right, is it my go?
Sure, go, mate. What's your next position? Who are you signing?
Left wing. I am signing. I don't even know his first name. Is it
Brilliant.
Hernan? Kernan? Yildiz from Juventus. He's a 20-year-old wonder kid. Kenan, not Kernan. Kenan Yildiz. So he is. I think he can play either side, but predominantly a left winger. 20 years old. He's got like 20-something goals and assists so far in Serie A. He is technically very, very good. Really good dribbler. So like 3+ dribbles per 90. Again, I'm all about the stats. Creates a lot of chances. He completes because he's really good at dribbling. I think about a 30% dribble success rate is really good, and he's got more than 50%. So like when he takes a player on, he beats them more often than he doesn't beat them, which is how maybe that's something to do with the slower Italian football. I don't know. He might struggle to get that in the Premier League, but yeah, he's very good on the ball, very technical, can score lots of goals, assists. 20 years old, and I think he signed a new contract not long ago, which is annoying, which might affect the price. But I've gone for 60 million at his value.
60 mil.
Let me have a
60
look.
mil.
What
That seems very cheap.
Well, hang on. Transfer.
He's 20 years old and he's playing Juventus.
Transfermarkt. Yeah. Yeah, he signed a new contract like 6 months ago. His contract expires in 2030. And he's 20 years old. Transfermarkt has got him at 75 million euros, which is like 70 million. So, and again, we have been linked with him in the past. I think it was for about that money, but that was before the new contract.
He definitely probably 70, 80 mil.
Okay. Well, hang on. Let me do my maths. Okay. If we're saying I'll do it for 70 million or 75 million.
Oh, will 75? You know? Okay,
yeah.
75. We'll shake it 75.
Oh, that gives me very little money to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Fine. That's fine.
Okay.
So I might not be able to afford
25, 30 million left in the bank.
So 75 plus that's 165. That gives me 32 million left.
Okay.
For a centre mid. I need to revisit my options. I can't afford Morgan Rogers for 32 million, can
I? No, I don't think so. Okay. So I think my priority at this point would probably be another centre mid. So would you say I can't have Tonali for 60 million?
For 60?
Yeah.
I think it'd be more like 80, I reckon.
Okay. Well, then I'll sign Belieber for 50 then, yeah.
Belieber for 50, okay.
Because
like Belieber at 50, a year ago, he was like, they were talking about £100 million, but I do agree he's had a bad, well, not as good a season.
But I think actually for us that might work out because then you got Wharton comes in to start. You've then got Mainu who's plays alongside, and you got Bruno Fernandes, and you got Belieber who's a bit more of a not necessarily a squad player, but like when you need somebody just to break teams down a little bit more rather than the passing, then I think you could do well playing alongside Wharton or Mainu. So he's a good different option to have in there, I think.
Okay.
So I think that what works out. So that leaves me with £40 million left in there.
That's pretty good.
Left to play with. Have you got anyone else you can afford?
No, I have not. But so I did have a contingency plan. If you were charging me more than market value, I've got a few on my list that I quite liked. Yan Diomande from RB Leipzig was a winger that a year ago he would have been like 30 million, and now they're talking about like 90, 100 million pounds, which is why I didn't go for him. But honourable mention to him. The other one that we've actually been linked with, which I haven't even bothered looking into because I don't think it's going to happen, is let me butcher his name in here, Kvaratskhelia from PSG.
Oh
Do you know him?
yeah, he's actually
Left winger.
very good. I've seen him play a few times. He is excellent. Really, really good.
Yeah, he was really good when we played PSG in the semi-final last year. He was brilliant. We were actually like, there's been rumours of us being interested in him. I just can't see him leaving PSG, and if he did, the cost of it would be an absolute fortune. So
Yeah, you pay fortune,
um,
but he would be incredible signing for the Premier League as well. I think
yeah,
that'd be really good.
yeah, it'd be cool to see him come in. So the two that for the central midfield role that I wanted, Morgan Rogers was one. Although he probably does play a bit too far forwards for what I'm thinking, but I just think for games where we don't need both Rice and Zubimendi, we don't need two like holding midfielders. Rice could play in the 6, and Morgan Rogers would be that free roaming like left 8 position, which has been quite a difficult position for us to fill well. And I think like Rice, Erdegaard, and Morgan Rogers as a 3 in the middle would be incredible. But I mean, I don't have enough money for him. I put 60 million, and then I did a bit of research, and I was like, he's probably more like 100 million or 90, 100 million. So the other one that I did like, who's maybe a bit more defensive, is, do you know Warren Zaire-Emery from PSG? Do you know
No, I
him?
don't know that
He's
well. No.
so he's a young, I think he's pretty young. Is he 20, 21? Central midfielder. He's kind of, the reason I think he's gettable for a bit less is they've got like an unbelievable midfield 3, haven't they, PSG? They've got Vitinha, Ruiz, and who's the other one? I can't remember. But basically this kid, I think he came through PSG's academy, and he's not always starting because the players he's trying to compete against are like champions. They're the reason they won the Champions League last year. So he's central midfielder, maybe slightly more defensive, but he's got the physicality that Arteta loves, but he's got the technical, like the passing ability as well. So he passes at like 93% success rate. He's already played 170 games for PSG at like 20 or 21 years old. So he's not, most of those aren't starts, but he's got a lot of experience for a 20-year-old. He's very involved, like he's a high touch player, a bit like Erdegaard. Like he comes and gets the ball and distributes it. So I think he's a good combination of the defensive, physical side Arteta likes, but technically very secure on the ball as well. So good in tight spaces. He's also got 65% long pass success, which I think is very, very high. So he's like, his technical quality is good. And the one that Arteta loves, he averages 5 ball recoveries per match, per 90 minutes, which is like, that's music to Mikel Arteta's ears, because he loves the transition, doesn't he? He loves winning the ball back and then going. So I put 50 million for him. Transfermarkt says 60 million euros, and I've got 32 million pounds. So can I have a loan with an option to buy next year?
I'm not sure that's going to work either.
No, so what I would do, my backup plan was sell like an extra player. And I would probably sell either Norgard for about 10 million, but that's not enough still. So maybe Mikel Merino might be out the door.
You'd sell Merino.
I don't want to. So this would only be if I could upgrade that position. But Mikel Merino's a bit older. He's just had this massive injury. He's been out for like 4 months. So there's no guarantee that when he does come back, he gets back to the level that he was at before. I do love Mikel Merino's like adaptability. Like he can play in so many positions, and he's a great pro. Actually, he's one of my favourite players over the last 2 years. But
you're kicking him out the door.
Yeah, get out. He's a lot of his appearances in the last 2 seasons have been as a makeshift centre forward. If I'm buying Julian Alvarez, I don't need him to do that anymore. So there might be a bit of redundancy there. So if I sold him for 25,
yeah, I think that's
20, 25, because he is older. So I think he's 30 years old. That would give me like 58, which I reckon I could twist PSG's arm and get Zaire Emery.
It's still a bit close, but yeah, go on then. Let's
Yeah.
put that in as your final transfer.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll do mine, and then we'll discuss the final transfers as well at the
Yeah.
end and go through what we've actually done. So I've got £40 million left. So I've got my 2 central midfielders. I've got my right back. My potential left back option, which I'm assuming you were thinking of because we've been linked to him a little bit, is Miles Lewis Skelly as our
That is who
potential
I was
back
thinking.
option.
Yeah, yeah. And when I
Coming
was
into
doing my
Milan.
sales, I was like, I'm worried. I'm worried we're going to sell him. I'm worried he's going to sell him.
So, yeah, how would you feel if you sold him to us?
Oh, if we sold him to you, I'd be furious. If we sold him at all, I'd be disappointed.
How much do you reckon we would have to buy him for?
If you'd have asked me that last summer, I'd say like 70, 80 million quid because he was starting like Champions League semi-finals. And this season, he's just not had a look in, which is obviously going to hurt his value, even though he's a year older and more experienced. But he's still super young. He's only 19. I don't know. I reckon if somebody offered like 50, 60 million, I think
Do you reckon?
the board would think about it. Yeah.
I put down 30 million. Do you reckon you'd accept that?
No, no way. If they did, there'd be absolute uproar because he's a hale ender as well. Like,
yeah, okay.
People would be furious if they sold him for that.
Okay, so I can't afford Skelly. Is basically where we're at. So I've got 40 million.
Can you sell someone else, or does that not work?
No, I'm not looking to sell. But I've sold fucking half a squad here.
You have sold a lot of players, yeah.
So at this point, I haven't really got like a nailed on. So I was thinking, like, look, I've got £40 million left. I'll see what values out there for forwards. So a couple of honourable mentions of people that I thought might be interesting, but I wouldn't be able to afford 40 million. So Thiago at Brentford, but I think he's a bit of a risk. Could be a one-season wonder. I would absolutely love it if we signed Palmer, but I can't see that happening. Obviously, he's going to be £100 million plus. The other option that we do have, and if Carrick stays as manager, the other option is that we keep hold of Rashford and he plays back in the squad. Now, I think that is a bit of a leap to happen, but as someone in that forward line, because Carrick, if he does get the job full time, does look like a more of a fluid forward line. Like he doesn't really want to start Sesko as number 9. So having, Mbeumo, Cunha, Rashford as that forward line and is changing positions, that could work. Even though I've just slammed Rashford at the start of this, so it could work. I also I did some research into the value of the free transfer market, mate, and seeing who was potentially available with contracts coming to an end.
Are there any good ones?
Well, there's one, I think this is right, but Sensi at Bournemouth, the centre-back.
Oh, yeah. Is he expiring this summer?
Apparently it could be expiring this summer, which I think could be a good signing for us. I know we've got 2 really good defenders coming through in Lenny Yoro and Heaven, but, Maguire might be going out the door in a few years' time. Sensi is 28, so he's not super young. So if you're going to sign him, you need to play him, pretty much. But good option.
On a free, though, that would be a good deal.
Yeah, and then Harry Wilson at Fulham, who's having a very good season, but he's probably just not elite. So, but again, if you wanted a backup option for the forward line, could be somebody to look at as well. So I think at this point, I'd probably keep hold of the 40 million and go to Vegas, mate. Put it all on black. That's what I would do.
A shareholder dividend is coming your way.
Exactly. So to confirm my transfers, then I've only signed 3 players. So I've gone for Adam Wharton for 80 million, Belieber for 50 million from Brighton, and Livramento for 45 million from Newcastle on my signings.
Nice. And I'm signing Julian Alvarez 90 million, Kenan Yildiz, do we say 75 million?
75, yeah.
And Warren Zaire-Emery for 58 million because that's every penny that I've got left.
I feel like you've signed 3 players for way more money and I had more money at the start. What's happened here?
You've kept 40 million. That's what's happened.
You've
pocketed 40 million.
Kept it in the bank.
I mean, okay. I suppose, so I wouldn't accept it because I love Miles Lewis Skelly, but Transfermarkt does have him valued at 35 million euros. So if you're offering like 40 million quid for him, maybe. Yeah, and also you do have this thing, thinking of as a neutral, he's because he's an academy kid, that's pure profit, isn't it, for Arsenal? So that might be another reason they look at selling him. But if they sold him for £40 million, I'll be absolutely fucking furious.
I can't see it happening, but it would be funny just to sign a player from you. Would be quite. And like, I'd
Yeah.
love it to be a Robin van Persie moment, and he goes on to bring us back to glory days. It'd be great.
Those days are over, mate. Those days are over.
We're coming back, baby.
I'm still traumatized, but those days are over.
Okay, fine. Well, we spoke about that for quite a while, and we now need to move on to our predictions. Because fuck
Jesus.
me, we are.
Do we need
awful.
to?
We are awful. Well, I'm really bad. So, England versus Uruguay. You predicted 2-1 England. I predicted 2-0 England. And I can't even remember the score, Mike. What was the score?
1-1, wasn't it? Uruguay equalised in like the 94th minute or something.
So we both.
It was Ben White won. Ben White won. Apparently.
Okay.
So he scored, and then he gave away the penalty for. Although apparently it wasn't a penalty that I was hearing. It was bullshit decision.
Well,
but
yeah, of course you would say that, but yeah, traitor. And then England versus Japan. I went for 4-0.
Good call. Good call.
And you went for 1-0 England, but it was 1-0 Japan. So we both
bad result, that.
minus points, which was not good. So before this, coming into it, it was 21 to you and 14 to me. So now you're on 20. Oh, I'm back at 13, my friend.
I feel like you're on 12 about 3 months ago.
Honestly.
Is that back-to-back minus points for you as well?
Back-to-back minus point weeks.
Oh. At this point, you may as well just predict the other way. You'll get more points.
Well, I just can't seem to get it right. Can't do that. Okay, so bless me. Just a little sneeze. You've got Arsenal versus Bournemouth. So you're at home to Bournemouth on the Saturday. You predicted first last time, so I'll predict first this time.
You go first.
Didn't you say last time we played Bournemouth, they were just unbeaten in X amount of games or something?
I think it was about 11 or 12 games.
I've got to go balls out here because...
Yes, they are still unbeaten.
I'm going to go balls out because I need to try and catch up. So I'm actually going for a 1-1 draw.
You know, that's not terrible because they've drawn their last 5 games in a row, Bournemouth.
There you go. They're due a win, of course, so they're definitely going to either win or lose.
So that is Farrell confirming here that Bournemouth are not going to draw against Arsenal.
Yeah. Good news, Arsenal fans. Good news for you.
Well, we could lose. But I think we'll win. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 to the Arsenal. And then I believe, if I'm correct, that we play Leeds, but not to the following Monday. We love extra time off.
The Monday. Oh, yeah. So Monday 13th, 8 p.m. kickoff. You are at home to Leeds, yeah. Yeah,
okay, fine. So, Mike, you're going to go first on this one?
Just when that game's on, just imagine the state of hangover you have.
Oh,
because we'll be back from we're back about 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. on that Monday from the stag do. So yeah, just imagine that. That'll be predictions wise, I think you'll beat Leeds comprehensively. 3-1 United.
Okay, 3-1 United. That's pretty big.
Yeah. As soon as I said it, I don't believe it, but it's too late now. It's in.
It's a big rivalry.
It is, isn't it, actually? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big game, but we are at home, so I'm so sorry, man. But I'm going to predict you to win, and when we be my fault. So I've gone 2-0 Man United for that one.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So excellent. Well, that brings the end to another Factor 50 Football podcast.
International special.
We'll be back to tell all the stag stories and share some of the shenanigans.
If we're still alive.
Yeah, if we're still alive. I mean, we're guaranteed something will go wrong, mate. Something will definitely go wrong. But otherwise, keep safe, listener, and follow, subscribe, ring the bells, do what you want to do about
share this podcast.
Yes, please. Bye-bye.
Bye.